then as an MP, showing his commitment and affection for the area. I wish him well in the future. Yeah. I'd also like to pay tribute to our emergency services, both across London and across the UK. The recent terror attacks have been abhorrent and terrifying, but our emergency services responded each and every time with the utmost courage and professionalism. They deserve both our praise and our gratitude. So too with the awful tragedy at Grenfell Tower in Kensington. I know that all of London grieves deeply for the family and friends of those who sadly lost their lives, and I join in thanking and praising the brave people from our emergency services who ran towards danger in London once again. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I'm of Cypriot heritage. My parents came here from Cyprus. English was not my first language, but we made a home in London. We were welcomed with tolerance and warmth, and that is what allowed me to be here today in Parliament giving my maiden speech as a proud new MP for Enfield Southgate. This is the same welcome that people here extend to everybody from other nations living, working and studying locally. I'm proud of our diverse, tolerant and inclusive community that brings out the best in people. That is very precious to us all in Enfield Southgate in these difficult times, or in any times. We will not allow the preachers of hate to drive a wedge between our community. Along with the majority of my constituents, I voted to remain in the European Union. I believe as they do that we are better off working together. I believe that people from countries across the European Union should be allowed to live, work and study in London. I wish the vote had been different, but now we must face the reality, and I will do all I can to campaign for the best deal we can get. In Enfield Southgate, we're very proud of our local history and our institutions. We're lucky to include Chicken Shed Theatre, set up by Joe Collins and Mary Ward, with the assistance of John Bull, which has been running for over 40 years. What a success story. It leads the field in breaking down barriers, promoting diversity and tackling discrimination. Chicken Shed has given many young people hope, a fantastic experience and the confidence that they can succeed irrespective of background or ethnicity or disability. Many people know the Piccadilly line in London. Its iconic Art Deco stations of Arna's Grove, Southgate, Oakwood and Cockfosters run through my constituency. Designed by the renowned architect Charles Holden, they were built in the early 1930s, and along the Great Northern Rail Line, joining Bowes Park, Palmer's Green, Winchmore Hill and Grange Park, these transport links led to the subsequent housing boom that made Enfield Southgate the place it is today. The place I am beyond proud to represent here in the mother of all parliaments. These transport links are one of the reasons why many people flocked to Enfield in the 1930s. Later, in 1971, when I was just 3 years old, my parents made Southgate their home. At school in Enfield, encouraged by some incredibly dedicated and knowledgeable teachers, I developed a love for reading, which has stayed with me. Enfield Southgate has been fortunate in having a connection to a string of literary figures, including St John Betjeman, Thomas Hood, Leigh Hunt, Jerome K. Jerome, and of course Stevie Smith. However, contrary to what I told my teachers, I don't admit to having read them all. Education is the cornerstone of success in life. It plays a key part in breaking down inequalities and promoting tolerance and understanding. But unless we invest in our schools and our children, those aims will be lost. We have some fine schools in Enfield Southgate, including St Michael at Bowes Junior School and Eversley Primary, both of which I'm a governor, and also Hazelwood Primary School. Yet the majority of our schools face government funding cuts that will harm the prospects of many young people in my constituency. All children get only one chance to have a decent education. I was lucky enough to get that opportunity, and I seized it. And I want the same chances for our young people. And that is why I will challenge the cuts to education funding and champion a properly funded education system. Enfield Southgate also has a place in suffragette history. When Hazelwood Primary School opened in 1908, its first headmistress was Laura Golden, the sister-in-law of Emmeline Pankhurst, founder of the Women's Social and Political Union. It's no coincidence, then, that between 1910 and 1913, there was a well-established and active suffragette movement locally, which gathered at the famous Palmer's Green Triangle. I'm proud that the people of Enfield Southgate played their part in supporting votes for women, but votes aren't enough. We still have huge inequality. Women still earn less than men, and in Enfield Southgate, just as elsewhere, women have been bearing the brunt of this government's austerity agenda. I will do my utmost to push for fair and equal pay and decent living wage for everyone. Inequality is also increasingly prevalent in our health services. It was a body blow for our area when Chase Farm Hospital's accident and emergency unit closed, and since then mounting pressure on North Middlesex Hospital's A&E unit is pushing it to breaking point. This cannot go on. The people of Enfield Southgate deserve better. I won't sit back and allow our precious NHS to be destroyed. It needs a massive tonic, and it needs it now. Mr. Speaker, I am here now because my constituents have put their faith in me. They know I'm one of them. I grew up amongst them, I live amongst them, and I won't let them down. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.